in our administration, you're going to see reprioritization there. You're going to see reform and refocus. And we're going to get our federal priorities straight and fulfill our country's commitment to give every child opportunity and hope in life.
Governor Sarah Palin this morning from Pittsburgh giving a speech on children with special needs. And though sounding optimistic, the McCain campaign has weathered a week of really disappointing poll numbers. Now we're going to take you through the week from the highs to the lows and show you who's up and who's down. And to help us break it all down, Democratic strategist Bernard Whitman, he's a former Bill Clinton pollster, and Joe Watkins, MSNBC analyst and Republican strategist. Gentlemen, thank you. Appreciate you guys joining us today. Two national polls, guys, showing Obama with a very strong lead. Let's take a look at our own NBC Wall Street Journal poll. It gives him a 10-point lead at this point, 52 to 42. New York Times numbers, by the way, among likely voters, Barack Obama leading there, 52 to 39. Let me begin with you, Bernard. Is it all over but the shouting?
Well, look, I think what we've seen this week are several key events. Number one, most national polls are showing the race to be about 7 or 8 points. But even more important than that are two factors. Number one, most of these polls show Barack Obama with above 50%, 51, 52%. And it's important to know that the last Democrat to achieve over 50% on Election Day was Jimmy Carter, who got 50.1. But even more important than that, Barack Obama right now is fighting aggressively in 12 states that George Bush carried in 2004. In 10 of those states, he is ahead by 5 to 10 points. And in 5 of those states, Bush carried these by double digits, which I think is truly extraordinary. And probably the most fascinating poll number I saw out today is from a Republican pollster that shows the state of Georgia in Obama's favor by +1.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that one plays out. I'm among those who are doubtful that that could happen. It could be close, but it'd be a big surprise. I think you'd have to concede if Obama were able to pull that one off. Joe, let me bring you in. I want to show you a couple numbers. One poll that will probably make you feel a little bit better as a McCain backer. Obama leading among likely voters in one poll, this by the AP, 44 to 43, which sounds a little bit more like what most pollsters would probably lead you to believe. But I also want to show you something else, and this has to do with his pick of a vice president. Sarah Palin. Now, initially, she was a pretty big draw out there. In fact, she still draws great crowds. But when asked in our NBC News Wall Street Journal poll, what concerns you most about McCain, it wasn't the fact that he's over 70. It was the fact that his VP choice was not qualified. Joe, say it ain't so.
Well, of course, the pollsters do their job, and they do it well. At the end of the day, people vote for the head of the ticket. They vote for the guy that's going to be president of the United States, and in this case, that's John McCain. I think that what you do if you're John McCain is you look at the polling numbers. Of course, the AP poll certainly makes it look like it's within range, and I think that it is. But at the end of the day, you don't trust any poll because polls tell you what people said either last week or several days ago. The poll that matters the most is the one that's taken on November 4th, on that Tuesday, when the voters go to the polls. And so every waking moment that you have now and every ad that you have out now is meant to help you get to your goal, which is to win 50% plus 1 of the vote on November 4th. And I think that's what John McCain is doing.
All right, guys, I've got 15 seconds. I know it's not fair, but I want to get your take very quickly on the Bradley effect. Bernard, first with you. Major issue coming up for us on Election Day or not?
I think the bigger factor is trying to estimate turnout, particularly among groups that are disproportionately supporting Obama. Young voters, new voters, and African Americans. And I think it's going to be less of an impact of the Bradley effect and more understanding exactly what percentage of these voters are going to ultimately turn out on Election Day.
Joe, you've got 10 seconds.
Bradley effect ends up being inconsequential. There'll be some people who will surprise when they go into the voting booth, but I don't think it's going to be a large number.
Bernard Whitman and Joe Watkins. Gentlemen, thank you for your time today.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.